Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I recently went out to go see my most anticipated film of the year, and it's Spider-Man Brand New Day that is directed by Destin Cretton, the man who gave us the MCU's Shang-Chi, which I really love Shang-Chi. It's one of the better Marvel films that we had in recent years since Endgame, and he also made the show from the Marvel's Disney Plus show called Wonder Man, which that took me by surprise that I thought the show was really good. I didn't think the show was gonna be all that good, to be honest with you. I thought it was really gonna be bad and had zero interest in watching it, and until I saw it, I actually enjoyed it, and I would have loved to see season 2, but unfortunately, they decided to cancel it after season 1, and they're not moving forward with season 2. But originally, the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, was attached to direct Avengers Kane Dynasty, but then they scrapped the plan because no one was sold by the Kane character, including myself. Then Jonathan Majors got canceled, and that kind of hurt their plans for Kane. So they decided to scrap it and got Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom to be in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars as their main baddie for this multiverse saga. But luckily, Destin Daniel Cretton got an upgrade. He got attached to direct the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, which I was so happy to hear the news when they announced that he was going to be attached to direct the film. And we've waited at least like 4 to 5 years since we've had a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, since No Way Home, which I still consider to be my favorite Spider-Man movie for many reasons. Because even though it is a Tom Holland-centric movie, but it was way more of a legacy sequel, and it's a culmination to every the iterations of the legacy Spidey characters, including the villains, through the Tobey Maguire era, through the Andrew Garfield era, and how they were able to wrap up that story perfectly and tie it into a bow, especially wrapping up Peter's arc through his origin story through the third movie. Because if you really think about it, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man had a 3-movie origin story, 3 movies that were spread out. And now going into Brand New Day, it's taken place 4 years after the events of No Way Home. He's very devoted to protecting the city of New York as Spider-Man. He's going through existential crisis through his evolution of transformation to becoming the man spider, that he doesn't have full control over his senses and his strength and his web shooting. Now that he has organic web shooters, he doesn't know how to use it very well or how to control it. So he's been trying to suppress it. But he's going through a lot of loneliness, processing through his grief, and that knowing that he lost Aunt May and that everybody in the world has forgotten about him when he had Doctor Strange to perform the spell and make everyone forget about Peter Parker, including MJ and Ned, his own best friend. And it's been tough on him, and he's learning how to try to process it through his loneliness by devoting his life to protecting the city. Now that everybody in the city loves him and he's got the key to the city, but it's not enough for him. It just feels like it's very empty. But then when he goes through his mutation, it feels like it's threatening his own existence. Now that he's not embracing being Peter Parker, he's embracing more of being Spider-Man more. And the whole movie of the theme is about him try to fight for his own existence. But then later in the movie, you're already seeing him dealing with another existential threat that is more powerful than he ever faced before, from a dark hooded figure the one character that's controlling everybody's mind throughout the city that becomes a threat. It does get a little deeper as the film progresses. But after watching Spider-Man Brand New Day, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Because when they said that they were going back to the basics of the street level story, and that it was going to be more grounded and more real, and this is going to be truly more of a true adventure to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and that you get to see him being at his best, and you're going to see a lot of some practical fight scenes. There's going to be some web swinging sequences that were done practical for the majority of the part, and then they announced that John Bernthal's Punisher was going to be in the movie. And I was so excited for it. And then they said that Mark Ruffalo is returning as Bruce Banner, and even the Hulk that was shown in the trailer. I was very happy. And then after coming out of the theater, I will say this movie is a slam dunk. This was everything that I've wanted to see in a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Because even though I said that No Way Home is my favorite Spider-Man movie, but this movie itself is the best Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie, period. because you could finally get to see him embracing the character that we've always wanted. It's him swinging through New York, helping out the community, taking on a bunch of bad rogues galleries throughout the movie. Him fighting Scorpion in the movie that I don't remember the actor's name on the top of my head because when we last saw him, it was at the end of the mid-credit scene in Spider-Man Homecoming, and they waited nearly 10 years for him to make an appearance, and I thought his fight scenes with Spider-Man was definitely banger. But let's be very clear, he's not the main villain. Does he play an important part in Peter's journey? Yes. But majority of the time, he only had like 2 scenes throughout the whole movie, but when he had scenes with Spider-Man, it was awesome to watch. I love how they were able to spend like at least 10 minutes through his montage through 4 years of him doing his own saves and devoting himself to protect the city as Spider-Man. And but even though that he still feels like it's not enough for him, that there's something missing, that he's all alone. And I loved how they were able to tackle that storyline because most of the time when every Spider-Man character, he's always been more alone. He's always been unhappy, but he when he's Spider-Man, he always does something that matters. The action and the visual effects were amazing. They borrowed a lot of elements from the Insomniac's PlayStation 5's Spider-Man games, from the fight scenes, from the web swinging in the New York, even some of the POV shots were chef's kiss. This is the kind of Spider-Man that I've always wanted to see for Tom Holland. Him swinging through New York, and the tone itself felt a lot more mature than the John Watts' Spider-Man trilogy, and it does get a little heavy with the drama. Sure, they're gonna have some moments with the Marvel jokes, which they always do, but it worked. The movie's like nearly a 2.5 hour movie. It is a long film, but the pacing was very sharp. I never felt bored, and Peter is very committed to keeping his mask on when he's interacting with the other characters on screen to hide his identity to the world, because Spider-Man is all about hiding his identity to protect the ones he care about, and they stuck true to it. They follow it all the way through. And John Bernthal's Punisher, I expected him to have a little bit of a cameo in the movie and pop in and out when he's needed, but he has a bigger role in the movie, and his banter with him and Spider-Man was great. I loved it. You know that him and John Bernthal and Tom Holland had great on-screen chemistry. They worked together in the past for one movie that they did. They did a movie called Pilgrimage. Then they did the movie The Odyssey together, which was not that long ago, which this is a great year for John Bernthal, Tom Holland, and even Zendaya. Zendaya as MJ was great. I love how she was sharing the screen time with Peter Parker, even though that her character does not remember him, but they played off the suspense of, is she going to reconnect with him? Is she going to be able to remember him? They did play off the suspense of, are they or aren't they? And I love Ned. I always loved the Ned character, and his screen time with him in Spider-Man was so golden. But you already know that them and Zendaya and Jacob had a great on-screen chemistry, that they felt like family. I love that now that we got a true street level Spider-Man story. And yes, there is a villain, and think the villain was handled very well. But most of the time, the biggest threat was more Spider-Man himself, from finding his own existence and finding his own identity. There's a lot of heartfelt moments, and as you saw in the trailer where you hear Aunt May's speech to Peter, the context itself was definitely worth a while. I got emotional. I got teary-eyed by the end of the movie. It really delved in a lot of the humanity and dealing with loneliness and processing their grief, and it's just so good. Sadie Singh's character was very mysterious, and I will say it's the worst kept secret, but I'm not going to tell you who she's playing. You'll have to figure that out when you watch the movie. But she is one of the scene stealers. She is an important character that sets up for the future of the MCU. And there is a post-credit scene that you have to stay all the way through the end. It is important. You have to watch it. It does set up for something. But I am so satisfied of how that Destin Daniel Cretton was able to execute this Spider-Man movie. And they borrowed a lot of the elements from the Insomniac's PlayStation Spider-Man games, and they borrowed some of the elements in Captain America Brave New World. And I don't mean that in the negative way. I mean, I felt like that the elements that they took actually worked a lot better in this movie, to be honest with you. And then one thing I wanted to address, I was so satisfied that they brought back Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner and slash Hulk. And as much as I was fine with the Smart Hulk in Avengers Endgame for the story purposes, I was okay with it. But then throughout the whole MCU, when you see him in the She-Hulk show, they completely nerfed him. I was getting tired of the Professor Hulk. We were so tired of it. We want him to get back to being the Raging Hulk that we've wanted to see. And then when they brought him back as the Raging Hulk and it made logical sense for the story purposes, it was so good. The fight scenes with him and Spider-Man was golden. It was chef's kiss. The Raging Hulk was officially back, and they did not disappoint. It was a slam dunk, very well executed. Overall, this might be my favorite movie of the year. I mean, there might be some minor, a little nitpicks that I wanted to address, but I won't go into it too much. But that's just minor nitpicks. That it's not enough to ruin the movie for me. I still was so satisfied with it. This is indeed the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that I've seen in recent years. This felt like a true Spider-Man movie that we've been wanting for the past 10 years. And Tom Holland's performance was outstanding. Every one of the people in this movie was great. There was some little surprise Marvel character cameo that I did not expect. Had two scenes, but I won't tell you who is in the movie. You're going to have to find out for yourself. You're going to be satisfied with it. If you love Tom Holland Spider-Man, you're going to be satisfied with it. If you've been waiting for the true mature Spider-Man movie and having a street level story, this is it. This is not one of those movies where he's going to have to deal with an existential threat that is going to be the threat to the whole world, where he's going to have to deal with the whole world being blown up. It's not going to be one of them. It deals with more of a human story. And yes, and the action and the choreography was satisfying. Even in the prison scene when he's fighting off the hand was definitely banger. They even got Jackie Chan and the stunt team to do the stunt choreography. He came on set and coordinate the stunt work, and I thought that was awesome. That was so damn cool. The color palette was very vibrant and very colorful. It almost felt like you were watching a little bit of an A24 movie, to be honest with you, and I thought it really worked. It had great writing, and it balances the drama and the humor, and it had full of heart. And every of the characters, even some of the villains that were brought into the movie, it served Peter's journey. It was such an emotional journey to Peter Parker's arc, trying to balance of how to be Spider-Man and how to be Peter Parker. And by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're going to be crying. You're going to be in tears and very happy at the end of the film. It satisfied me. I'm definitely going to give this movie a 10 out of 10. This is definitely one of the great Spider-Man movies I've seen so far. I mean, I still prefer No Way Home more for different reasons, but this is definitely very near close. Oh man, God, I can't wait for Tom Holland's future for this brand new chapter, because it definitely felt like a brand new chapter where now he is the Spider-Man character that you know and love. And I have no doubt that Sony and Marvel are going to attach Destin Daniel Cretton to direct like at least two more movies, because after the box office results for the projection, they're projecting that this movie is going to make 800 million worldwide on the first weekend. That's insane, because it shows you that Spider-Man is definitely the true Marvel popular character in the Marvel universe. Out of all the Marvel characters, period. Because this character has resonated with everybody, that anybody can relate to that character, and that anybody can wear the mask, as what Stan Lee, the creator of the character, quoted years ago, that anybody can wear the mask and anybody can take on that responsibility and help out the community. And they made New York as a living character, and it shows you that Tom Holland's Spider-Man cares about the community and how much he is devoted to it. And I thought what they did in the movie was so well done. Oh God, there's so much more I want to talk about, but I don't want to give away too much because this is a non-spoiler review. So any of you in the comments, do not spoil any of the plot point. I would really appreciate it. Do not spoil this. This is a non-spoiler review. But that's my thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm so excited for where they're going to go next for Tom Holland Spider-Man, now that we finally get a chance to see him be that character that we know and love. But that's my thoughts on the movie. I'm definitely going to go see it multiple times in the theater. It's definitely worth your time in the cinema. You're definitely going to be satisfied with it. I highly recommend you rush out to see it in theaters. But anyway, what did you think of this Spider-Man Brand New Day? Have you seen it? Did you love it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this review, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know when my videos are uploaded. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers. Help me get there. I would really appreciate you guys supporting the channel and helping me grow. And in case you are new to the channel and you don't know, I have a second YouTube channel called Small Zero. It's a collaborative YouTube channel where I co-host alongside with Ryan Cam, and 3D Jake. We do a weekly live stream. We cover everything in the world that goes around with movies, trailers, and TV shows. Go over to that channel. Go and give that subscribe. I'll put the link in the description down below and help us grow our channel. We've been growing our channel since back in April or March or April. I would really appreciate you guys supporting that channel as well. But if you want to follow my social media platforms, I'm very active on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Click the link tree in the description down below as well. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.